Welcome back to the Challenger Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Dave Glaser in Fort Collins, Colorado. Wishing you a happy new year. And without further delay, I want to get into this episode titled The Best Fitness Routine for Every Enneagram Type, so you actually stick with it. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to talk about how your Enneagram type shows up in your life and how to leverage that knowledge and individuality so that you can get to your weight loss and nutrition goals. Welcome back. We're covering one of my favorite topics, Enneagram and fitness. Here's the truth most fitness plans ignore. The best workout isn't the most optimal one on paper. It's the one you'll actually do consistently. There are thousands of workout programs out there, online, in-person, hybrid, CrossFit, jiu-jitsu. Each and every one of these fitness programs offer something completely different, and finding the one that you can stick to is the best way to choose a program. So we're going to discuss them for each Enneagram type today. The motivation, the discipline, and the burnout, and how they show up very differently depending on your Enneagram type. So today, I'm breaking down the fitness routines each Enneagram type is most likely to succeed with, not because they're trendy, but because they align with how you're wired, how your personality shows up in your world. So let's get into it. Let's start with the type 1, the reformer. The best fitness style is something that's structured, goal-oriented, and progress-driven, something that's measurable. Type 1s thrive on doing things the right way. So the right technique, the right movement, the right exercise sets and reps all fit in because they love rules, form, and improvement. And oftentimes external feedback from a coach, whether that's an online coach or an in-person coach, is a really good fit for the reformer. The best routines, strength training with a written program, something with great guidance, very specific and laid out. Olympic lifting or CrossFit with an emphasis on technique. So I would actually not recommend CrossFit there. When you race through exercise movements, you cannot focus on technique. Progressive overload plans. That essentially means that over time, they get more challenging. Whether it's mentally, physically, all of the above fall underneath progressive overload plans. It's also oftentimes known as periodization as well. And that's what our programs are built off of at FitLife. Fitness apps that track metrics and streaks are also helpful to stick with a workout program for the reformer. What I want you to be aware of and watch out for is overtraining, being too rigid, and beating yourself up for having bad workouts. There's no such thing as a bad workout. It's the only bad workout is the one that you don't start. You can start a program, start a workout program, an individual workout day. You can start it and not finish it and still have it check off the list for the type 1. However, that might bring up some hesitation for you if I give you that out. You're not going to want to do that if you're a type 1. The mindset shift that I want you to key in on is consistency beats perfection. And if you can do that as the type 1, you're definitely going to be successful at your workout program. Let's move on to the type 2, the helper. The best fitness style for the helper is one that's community-based, relational, and service-oriented. A lot of helpers gravitated to my workout program. That's an understandable dynamic because the 8 is a natural leader. And when I was a personal coach, personal trainer and coach in person, I thrived, and my type 2 helpers thrived with me because they stay motivated when connection is involved. The best routines for a helper are group fitness classes, partner workouts, boot camps or studio memberships, and coaching or accountability groups. What they need to watch out for is neglecting their own needs or saying yes to workouts that they don't enjoy. And then finally, the mindset shift that I want a type 2, the helper, to keep at the forefront is your health matters even when no one else is watching. So if it needs to be an active rest day where you just take a long walk by yourself, please give yourself permission to do so. Let's move on to the type 3, the achiever. My partner is an achiever, and she does my workout program in the basement here at home, and she needs very little coaching. So let's talk about why that is. The best fitness style for an achiever is something that's performance-driven, competitive, with visible results. They got to see the scale change, or they've got to see the weights go up. And competitiveness can actually be with themselves as well. Who was I when I started that workout program, and who am I today? That's also falling under the best fitness style is something that's competitive. 3s love efficiency and measurable success. So a 2-hour workout program is not going to be the best fit where they have to travel to and from the gym, but something very quick they can get in under 60 minutes at home or at a community fitness center close by. The best routines for a type 3 are high intensity interval training, which is partially what our workout program is here at FitLife. Additionally, CrossFit, high rocks, endurance events like triathlons or marathons, something that is measurable, very challenging, and something that they can check off their list. They might also be drawn towards the physique competition niche in the industry or performance goals. And they love having wearable devices like a Garmin or a Apple Watch or maybe an Oura Ring. And they love to watch the leaderboards at places like Orange Theory. What I want you to watch out for as a type 3, though, when it comes to a fitness program is burnout, over-identifying with results, and training through exhaustion. When you face overtraining, and a type 3, I can completely understand why they would face overtraining, you're not going to see the results because your muscles don't have enough time to recover. So always build in a rest day if you're a type 3 with your workout program. And the key mindset shift that I want you to keep in mind if you're an achiever is rest is part of winning. I hope that lands with you as a type 3. Let's move on to type 4, the individualist. Their best fitness style for them is something that's expressive, emotionally engaging, and creative. Think like mat Pilates or yoga. 4s need workouts that feel meaningful. Can they feel the workout in their body? Can they feel something in their emotional connection to the workout? And that leads us to the best routines: yoga, Pilates, barre, dance-based workouts, rock climbing or movement-focused training, flexible programming with room for mood. What mood are they in when they show up at the gym that day? They're going to need a different workout for each mood. And I want them to watch out. If you're an individualist, I want you to watch out for inconsistency when emotions dip. Do you have the emotional energy to show up for yourself at the gym? And the key mindset shift for the individualist, the type 4, is you don't need to feel inspired to show up. Stick to the plan. Show up with consistency, but show up for yourself and reward yourself with a positive reinforcement afterwards. Let's move on to the type 5, the investigator. The best fitness style for the investigator is something that's efficient, private, and intellectually engaging. They might like to read through the instructions of an exercise before digging in. 5s want to understand why something works. They want to dig into what is happening inside my body physiologically. And the best routines for them are minimalist strength programs, home gym training, data-driven plans, skill-based lifting or calisthenics. Something very complicated like the deadlift or a power clean would be great for the type 5. And I want to touch on data-driven plans just for a moment. There's a style of training, I think it's called Russian volume training. And that's where you just total up an amount of weights that you want to lift in a week or in a month or in a year. And you break out your workout programs to reach that 14,000 pound goal for the month. And that's how a data-driven plan can work for a type 5. They understand why volume training works, as opposed to like, why do I want to break it out into sets and reps? That's boring. What I want the 5 to watch out for is over-researching instead of starting. Don't let complete understanding of physiology prevent you from starting a workout. I want to challenge you to start today without going to YouTube. Do not go to YouTube to research volume training. That's my challenge to you. And the mindset shift for the type 5 is action creates clarity. You're going to feel it in your body when you start to take action towards movement. Let's move on to the type 6, the loyalist. The best fitness style is something safe, predictable, and supported. 6s do best with guidance and reliability. Best routines, trainer-led programs, most likely in person because of that predictability and the supported. And personal trainers in person tend to be very reliable and they show up. Class memberships can be good because it's structured and they know what time the class starts. They know what they're going to get out of that class. Structured weekly schedules also benefit the loyalist. And then lastly, programs with built-in progression. So are they headed in a direction that's predictable or headed in a direction that's safe? What I want this loyalist to watch out for is doubting themselves or constantly switching plans. Because the plan that's in front of you, when you stick to it and are consistent with it, it's good enough. And the key mindset shift for the 6 is trust the process and trust yourself. Let's round it out with the type 7, 8, and 9. Let's talk about the enthusiast first. The best fitness style is something that's fun, varied, and high energy. Something like high intensity interval training with body weight out in a park would be great for a type 7. But 7s need novelty or they'll disappear. They need to stay engaged and excited. And the best routines are circuit training, sports leagues, outdoor adventures, and rotating programs every few months. Watch out for program hopping and skipping recovery for the type 7. And that all boils down to a key mindset shift is that depth beats endless novelty. It takes discipline and it takes consistency, which is something that is very challenging for the type 7. Let's move on to the type 8, something that I am, the challenger personality type, can relate to. I might actually go off script for this particular section, but the best fitness style is something intense, empowering, and physically demanding. And if you've been paying attention to the Challenger podcast for a while, you're likely going to think of jiu-jitsu when you think of me as the challenger. 8s, like myself, want to feel strong and capable. The best routines for us are heavy lifting, combat sports, strongman or powerlifting, sled pushes, carries, and hard conditioning. There's also the competitiveness that comes into being a challenger. That's why combat sports are so great for our personality type. Something like MMA, UFC, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, anything and everything that's like, okay, 1 versus 1 where it's not super vulnerable, right? Jiu-jitsu is an incredibly vulnerable sport because you are pushed to the edge every single time that you show up at class. What I need to watch out for, and what other 8s need to watch out for, is ignoring injuries and pushing through pain. Much like I experienced in December of last year, maybe October through December with the knee injury, heard the arthritis in my knee pop 3 times pretty audibly. And I thought that it was meniscus at first, because all the signs and symptoms were pointing to a meniscus, but the MRI didn't show that. It just showed a lot of arthritis. So I had it scoped, and I am sitting with the time that it takes to recover. 5 full weeks off, and then I return to coaching just twice a week. And then likely next week might be getting back into some fundamentals classes. So my mindset shift needed to go from longevity is strength. That's my reframe. And I could not ignore the knee injury. I wasn't performing the way I wanted to. My knee was locking up during class, and that was holding me back from staying consistent. And I've seen the fallout as a result. Something like adding extra weight and seeing muscle composition decrease. Now let's close it out with the type 9, the Peacemaker. The best fitness style is something with gentle consistency, low barrier to entry. 9s struggle with starting, not finishing. They can stay consistent when it comes to a workout program, but they need that gentle nudge towards starting. The best routines for 9s are walking programs, yoga or mobility flows, habit stacked movement, like after coffee, after work, something where they can't come up with an excuse to not go. Low pressure goals. Do not press a 9. Do not push them. If they're having a hard time getting started, just continuously invite them. No pressure. What I want 9s to watch out for, though, is procrastination and passivity. That's why yoga works so great for a type 9. They don't need to be anything but passive when it comes to a yoga program. There are definitely yoga sculpt and yoga flow that are a little bit higher intensity, but 9s don't need that. And finally, the key mindset shift for 9 is that small action creates momentum. Once you get started, it is the snowball effect for the type 9. And let's close out by saying, if you've ever felt like fitness just doesn't work for you, reach out, let me know. I can guide you through, based on your personality type, what's going to be the best fit for you. It's probably not because you lack discipline. It's because you were following a plan that didn't match how you're wired and how you show up for yourself. Fitness programs stick when it aligns with your motivation style, your stress response, and your relationship to structure, novelty, and the challenges that are built into workout programs. If this episode helped you rethink your approach, share it with someone who's been stuck on the fit hamster wheel for a while or just not reaching their goals, and have them reach out to me, riseup@fitlifechampions.com or at Coach Dave Glaser on Instagram. And as always, challenge yourself, but understand this reminder. Growth happens when you work with who you are, not against it. Until next week, wishing you health and happiness wherever you're at in the world. I'll talk to you soon.